Hey, thought we'd do something a little different today. We're going to do a course design tutorial on PGA 2K23. We've been designing courses for a while, so I'll show you some quick tips to get started and how to get a reasonable course as quick as possible, and then show you how you can put in all the other things that'll make your course pretty neat. So we're going to start a brand new course, and first you got to give your course a name. We will call this one Design Golf Club. You can always come back and change it too. You can rename it before you officially publish it. And you've got options. You've got 2 pages worth of themes. Basically, the themes are going to give you the basic groundwork. Like the desert theme is going to be pretty much all desert. The tropical theme is going to have lots of palm trees and stuff like that. So pick whatever looks interesting to you. You can always change it later. We're going to pick a Swiss theme just because I like the mountains in the background. So once you pick your theme, pick your terrain. Now to start with, one thing I usually do to start with is I say no trees, no plants. Well, I don't care about plants. Mainly no trees, because it'll be a lot easier to see where you put the golf holes, and you can always come back, add a whole ton of trees in, and then place trees completely on your own anyway. So to begin with, I just turn the trees off. Because you can see now, you can see the golf course in the background. Makes it really easy to see all the holes. Pick your layout. Standard layout, 18 holes, 4 par 3s, 4 par 5s. All the rest are par 4s. Fairway width, fairway bunkers, and green size. All of these are adjustable later. This is just how you'll start. So we will go ahead and let it put in the holes as a random layout. And then I'll show you how there's other ways to create holes too. Okay, so it's saved this initial part of the course, and now we're ready to design. So we use our right stick to fly around, and we use our left stick to move around. So the right stick rotates up, down, left and right, and the left stick drives around. Left trigger, or right trigger zooms in, left trigger zooms out. Simple enough. So your basic course is going to have 18 holes, and they're going to stick a random clubhouse into the course. And the holes are all numbered. If you zoom in, you can see this is hole number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we want to find hole number 1. So that is the first way to go ahead and design a course. Puts all these random holes in here. So I'll show you a few things here, and then I'll show you how you can start a course without it putting in all the holes, and you put them in yourself. So, first things first, let's go find hole number 1. Sometimes a little bit of a pain because you got to search around. There's hole number 1. There's the tee box. So if you put your cursor over the tee box and you look at the menu on the left, it says you can move the waypoint or you can do something with the tee. So let's say we want the waypoint is where the tee is. The red tee would allow you to, if you click the X on it, you could move it. You could add another tee, so you could have a red tee, you could have a blue tee, a green tee, a white tee, a black tee. So if I say add, and I say now I have another tee position, I can drag it around. Hit the circle, it cancels it. I can change the tee marker here to whatever I want it to be. And I can change the tee color. So you can have up to, looks like 6 tees. So we'll just say we want to make it the gold tee. Now change it to gold, red, white, get the idea. All right, so we'll be happy. We'll just leave that. And then the waypoint, suppose I don't want this here. I can take the waypoint and I say, well, let's move it this way. I want to make the hole shorter. So I just clicked on it, dragged it, dropped it, made the hole shorter. If you go up to tee box settings, you can change the size of it, make it with a slider. I can make the tee box big, make tee box pretty small. Change the shape, make it round, whatever I want. And then I can deal with the green texture. So if I take this, your greens and your tees share the same texture setting. So whatever color and grass you give it is going to change it for the green and the tee. And then I could say, how far do I want the fairway away from the tee? You can see here there's a bit of a distance. The fairway starts way up here. Your tee box is back here. So if I go to tee box settings, fairway start, and I move that slider to the left, it's going to start closer to the tee box, or on the tee box. If I move it further to the right, it's going to start further away. It's useful, especially on like par threes, where maybe you don't even want a fairway. Put your par 3 in, you come through here, you say start the fairway as far away as possible, and you'll be good. Okay, and then I go to the hole settings while I'm on hole 1. I can change, I can say, okay, I want it to be a different par, all the way from par 3 to par 7. We'll leave it par 4. I can reorder the hole. I can make this hole number 2 if I want. I can swap it with another hole where it just changes that hole to another hole. I can toggle the crowd on and off if I had put in any crowds. Fairway bunkers appear down. So you basically can say, yes, I want fairway bunkers, and then they can be way down by, I can have none, I can have a lot. If you look down the fairway, you'll see the fairway bunkers are appearing. And then how far down do you want them? Do you want the fairway bunkers closer to the tee box, see how they're moving up, or further towards the green? So you can play with a lot of stuff there pretty quick. And then if we move up here to the fairway, and I go to fairway settings, I can change the width of the fairway, making it wider, narrower. Fairway texture, again, I can choose different fairway textures. Fairway start, that was the same thing from the tee box. Fairway end, though, however, will be how close to the green do we want it. So right now it's 0 because it's touching the green. If I move it up, it starts moving away from the green. We'll give it a little bit of a chance to roll a shot up there. And then the edges, do you want the edges rounded or more straight? So we'll go with pretty rounded, that's fine. Or you can just randomize the whole thing. So now we have the hole settings. So we're on hole 1. See how if we move over, now we're on hole 2. So we've got hole 1 settings. Again, I can change that, reorder it, swap it through the crowd. I can actually move. I could delete the hole, but I could also move it. If I click move, now I've got the entire hole. And see how I can drag it around. I can use the right and left arrow keys. I can rotate it. So let's put it over here, just for fun. And I've completely moved that hole to another position on the golf course. Okay. Now if I go to my green, and I go up to green settings, I have the green size, make it smaller, can make it larger. Good size is probably in between somewhere 11 and 15. I can change the slope of it, which will change the speed, basically giving it a lot of angle. I can change the texture. I can say I want the greens to look like this. I can deal with the fringe. See how we have a fringe here? It's not too wide. I can make the fringe wider, make the fringe narrower. Green bunkers, I can make all of them, maximum or none. We'll go somewhere in the middle. I can change what the flag looks like. If I want blue flag, checkered flag, whatever. And then the fairway end, I can also control that from here, as well as the fairway. And that, or I can just randomize the whole green setting. If I randomize it, it makes it super small. Let's try it again. So that's something you can randomize it a few times, just see what you get and pick something there. And if you go, just take your cursor, and if you see here where it says fairway settings, if you move just off the fairway, it'll change to rough settings. So you can have light rough width, you can make the light rough narrow. Light rough is kind of hard, and then we go light rough texture. This will make it easier to see the light rough. So light rough width, 0, we'll make it like 1. Or we can make it as maximum. So we'll go light rough about that far. And if we keep going, we get to the heavy rough settings. And we can see the heavy rough texture. There. Do something so it stands out. We can make the heavy rough texture really narrow. Sometimes it makes a big difference, sometimes it doesn't. Or we can make it really wide. Here it doesn't really, it's hard to see, it doesn't make much of a difference. But you can see we did that for these holes. It did it for, you can go to every hole and do it. Or you can come over here to the course settings. I'm using the left and right bumpers. If you go to course settings, you can go to tee box settings. And you will now change all the tee boxes. Fairway settings, you could change all the fairways, all the rough, all the greens, all the bunkers, or you could regenerate the entire course. So that's basically out, and it's a good idea when you do change things, go ahead and play one of the holes. You just go over to play. You could play one hole, you could play the entire course. If you pick a hole and play it, it'll automatically put you on the tee for the next hole. So we'll give it a go here. Kind of like that, and push the ball back into the fairway. We'll pop it up here. And then we can see how the green's rolling. So if we don't like the way that green is rolling, we can always jump right back in around hole 12. Could say, oh, I missed that putt. I want that green to be flatter. So we played the hole. It takes us right to the next hole. We can play that one. So those are some of the basic ways to get a course up and running super quick. Oh, and I did mention, so now I'm going to press my start button. Go back to edit. And I don't want to play, so now I'm back in here. So when you're at this play test screen, what we want to do all right, so we have our basic course set up right here. So we played it. We might say, oh, okay, I think we're ready. We want to throw all the trees back in now just to see what that would look like. So what we're going to do is go back to environment settings, go to terrain settings, go back to trees, and slide it up. We'll just go all the way, and boom, you now have 1,000,000 trees on your golf course. And for some, just doing those few edits will be enough to get a playable, kind of a fun, playable golf course that didn't take long, maybe 10 minutes, and you've got a course that you could publish. And when you're ready to publish, you hit the start button again. If you haven't saved it, you want to save it. If you want to rename it, you could rename it. But you're going to go to publish. You say, yes, I want to publish. And then it's going to say, okay, well, we're going to need you to take a screenshot. And you do the same thing. You fly around till you find some kind of a picture of your course. There's a picture of a green, a little bit of water in the background. And you say, hit X, you select it. And then you will be able to publish your course onto PGA 2K23, where other people will find it as recently published and can play it, and you as well can find it and you can play it. So we'll come back and we'll continue modifying this course in the next video. But for right now, there's your quick tutorial how to get a quick golf course up and running and playable. And I would suggest before you publish any course that you actually play through the entire course to make sure you haven't missed something, so where the green is like super slanted or the tee boxes are on the side of a hill. You're going to want to adjust that. And I'll cover a lot of the terrain stuff in the next video. See you soon. Thanks for watching.